select the column, then go to this transform section, split column. Okay, there we got a lot of predefined options to split the data. As of now, we'll be going by delimiter. Once we click on it, okay. So here we can see select or enter delimiter. Okay. So here we got like colon, comma, equal sign, semicolon, space, tab, custom. Okay. Like if colon is available, comma is available, or say equal sign or semicolon or space, if all these things are available, okay. With that, if you want to delimit your data or say separate the data, you can do. Or if there is any different thing, separate thing, okay, like you can select custom, okay. If say I have hyphen, okay, with that also we can do. If say we have some plus or any symbol, okay, anything we have, we can type that, okay. With that also we can separate. So we see in that column, okay, uh, I just want to keep only first name, okay. So I see, say just for example, we got Air India, okay. There we have a space between Air and India. If say we want to separate Air and India, want to keep Air in one column and India in one column, okay. So we can select a space here, which is already available option to select. Okay. And then uh, is split at leftmost delimiter, rightmost delimiter, each occurrence of the delimiter. Okay. Advanced option, no, nothing. Okay. I'll just click on OK. Now see, your data got splitted with the space. So wherever the Air India was available, okay, it got splitted into two columns. First column is Air, second column is India. Okay. I want this thing back. I don't want this to be splitted. I was just showing that this feature is available to use if it is required to perform any such function. Okay. So I'll just cancel the step from here. Okay. Because I already told, you know, control Z and control Y, this option is not available in query editor. Okay. So we can just cancel the steps. Okay. I'll be getting our data back. Now next, if we want to replace any value, okay, so that also we can do. Okay, so just say for example, um, any borrower name from here. Okay, I want to replace it with some other name. Okay, so I can directly click on the column. Okay, and we can go to replace values. Okay, it will ask to value to find and the place sorry replace with. Okay, so those things if we mention here automatically it will get replaced. Okay, say for example I want to uh, replace gsw. Okay, so we can right click and copy also. Okay, and then paste it into the replace window. Okay, but directly from here itself we can go to replace. Okay, so what will the added thing I will be getting here, automatically this JSW will be coming into the field to find. Then only thing I need to mention replace with. Okay. So say I just want to type XYZ here. Okay. And the moment I click on OK, okay, everywhere, wherever this JSW was there, it got replaced with XYZ. Okay. Again, I don't want to do that. Okay. Again, I will cancel it. So our data will be back. Okay. So all these things we can do with our data, clean it, okay, to get our desired data we want. Okay, lot of functions available to do that. Okay, so as of now, just see, or let's say this data is very much ready to load it into our Excel. Okay, so what we can do? Okay, how we can load it? We'll simply go to close and load. Okay, so once we click on it and just wait for a few seconds. Yeah, so our data is loaded here. Okay, now you can see left side. Okay, This is query section. Okay, from where this data is loaded. Okay, and if again we want to make any changes directly from the Power Query editor. Okay, so we can directly, sorry, we have to double click on it. Okay, you can see here. The moment I put cursor here, that window got loaded and it is asking, if we want to edit. If we click on edit, again that window will be open. Okay, again I am going to close and load. Okay, so that is how we can, again, if any changes required, we can do. Okay, now the next thing I am going to show, rename column, change type, replace value, split columns, delete and merge columns, change. I think there was something. Yeah, this refreshing query data, this was left. So I'm going to show you how to, how this works. Okay, our data is loaded. Just see, I am not going to make any change here to this data. Rather, I will make the changes into the source data file. Okay, and then after I will come back and refresh this page, and you will see that change will be happening here as well. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, this is our source file. I'm going to open this. Okay, will not touch anything else. Okay, like we have already done this cleanup in Power Query Editor. Okay, simply I want to say or say this file is maintained with some other person. Okay, I have just sourced this file into my Excel. Okay, through this Power Query Editor. Okay, I have set up a connection to this file. Okay, and to get the insightful information from this data. Okay, but actual this file is with some processor. Okay, who is actually making the changes into that file. So I want whenever any change happens to this file, okay, the update will also happen to my insightful information, the data I have. Okay, so let's see, another line item got added. Okay, so just say it is 21. Okay, this client name is say XYZ something. Okay, and say this have the TL facility. Okay, and say like loan value is something 1 lakh. It starts from 1 lakh. Loan one is 1 lakh. I'll just drag it. Okay, say if I fill it with the series, so it will become as. Mm-mm. So loan one is 1 lakh, two is 2 lakh, three is 3 lakh, four is 4 lakh, five is loan five is 5 lakh, loan six is 6 lakhs. Something this data got added into the source file. Now I'm going to just save this file. This file I have saved and I'm going to close. Okay. Now I'm coming back into my Excel with the name Excel workshop. Okay. I'm going to data tab and just going to click on refresh. You can see the row number 21 is added automatically. Okay. So that is the the use of this Power Query. Okay. So this I have uh, just 10% I have just explained. Okay. Loading the data from one Excel. Okay. And uh, building the connection. Okay. Transforming the data. Okay. We can do this with uh, any number of files. Okay. We can do the same thing, the data from any source, like web or SQL or anything. As of now, like I have shown you from the single file. Okay. Certain things were left there to explain you. I can do that also. Yeah, you can see here the data is loaded with the sheet one in the bracket two something. Okay, we can make changes here now. But say if we wanted to make change to the name there itself. Okay, there also we can do that. Okay, here also we can do double click. It will allow to change the name. Here also we can see in the properties name is coming as sheet 1 bracket 2. There also we can make the change. So if say I want to say anything like loan count. Okay, so there also it got updated as loan count. Okay, again, if we like close and load the data, okay, I think a new sheet will be loaded, or this sheet only will get updated as no. This sheet name is not getting updated. However, the here the sheet name got updated as loan data. So we have to make sure what the name sheet name we want to have. Okay, so before initially loading the data, we need to put the name of that sheet what we want. Okay, but I just wanted to show if we want to change the name. Okay, that also we can do. Why that is required? That also I can tell you. Okay, there may be you get multiple files. Okay, so multiple files, it will be coming with the sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. Okay. With that, it will be little difficult to recognize what data we have on which sheet. Okay. So if we see give any distinct name to that sheet, so that triggers that this data we have into this sheet, this data we have into easily we can recognize this. For that purpose only we can change the name. Otherwise, there is no requirement of that. Okay, I'll close it. Just a minute. Yeah, Excel was stuck. Again, I am moving to Excel. So refresh is completed. There are some small things like trim, clean text. So when we have more dirty data, okay. So there we can, if we perform such things, so it will be very good to understand. So that also I'll be making some data to perform such functions. Filtering and sorting data. Okay. Okay. So before going to that, moving to that, there are some other things were left like, okay, sourcing data from CSV text file, sourcing data from web. Okay. And folder batch import. So next I am going to do this CSV text files, web folder batch import. Okay. Let's go back to our Excel. Okay. Again, uh, let's go to take any new sheet. I would say go to get data, then text CSV. Sorry, I'm getting call. Hello. हाँ. अभी कॉल चल रही है. आप देखो क्या करना है, लेना है तो ले लो. Okay. So once we select the CSV or text, okay, automatically it will show only the files which are in CSV and text format. Okay. So say for example, I'm just going to, select this text. I'm going to click on import. Yeah. So I had the same data available in text format. So it also got loaded, from the text file. Okay. And the good thing is you can see the data got loaded in the table format. Okay, from text to table format. I'm not going to again do anything. I just wanted to show you that how we can load the data from the text or CSV. The only thing into the get data, we have to go to from text to CSV, text or CSV option to load that data. Okay. Next, we are going to do from folder. Okay, we can do the same thing with PDF. This XML and JSON, I'm not very much familiar. So as of now, I'm going with this from folder. The moment we select the from folder, we'll be getting the only folders, okay, to select. Okay. From wherever your folder is placed, you can go and select. Okay. So here the folder is there. Before I load the data from this folder, I just want to show you what all files we have in this folder. We got the 4 files into this folder, processor 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So all the processors have their processing data into the file. Okay. But if say I want to get this data, combined, okay, and I want to get this all these files combined and the data into one Excel sheet, okay, so that also we can do with the help of this Power Query. Okay, I have just selected this processing file. I'm going to click on Open. It is going to take us to Navigator window. Okay, already we can see on the Navigator window. Okay, it is showing how many files we have into that folder. Okay, it have processor one, two, three. All these file names are coming with the extension, the date access, date mode, all these things. Okay. Next, we are going to say here we have the options: continue and transform data, continue and load. Okay, so we can directly load. Okay, we can transform data again. If I have to tell, is only if you want to make changes into the data. Okay, some unwanted rows, columns, and unwanted data. Some values need to be replaced, some values need to be corrected into their correct format. All that. For that, we need to go to transform data. Okay. Otherwise, we can directly load. Okay. Now I'm going to combine and load data. Transform is not. We can go to transform also. Yeah. From there, if we need to make any changes, we'll make the changes and then load. If there is no requirement to make changes, then we can directly load. We'll go to combine and transform data. It will take few seconds to load, okay, to combine the data on Power Query Editor window. Okay, so there we can see here the file got, and we have to just select. Okay, so we can see it is uh, from one of the file the data is showing here. Okay, sample files we can, in the drop down we can click. Okay, so there we can see in the sample file it is showing as processor 1, 2, 3, 4 all. Okay, what is that? Whichever file we select here. Okay, so it will keep the header of that file as a your standard header for the combined file. Okay, so there may be that all these files have some additional like one file have 5 columns, the other file have 10 columns. Okay, there may be some, but then one is file, okay, with the standard columns. You want that data, all the data uh, for those columns only. So that particular file you can select here. Okay, so for example, I'm just selecting this processor one file only. Okay, automatically, the data of the processor one file got loaded here. Okay, that is as just an sample. Okay, then after once we click on OK, let's wait for a few seconds. Processing queries is going on. Evaluating queries. Now taking us to Power Query Editor page. Boom. You can see the processor 1, processor 2, processor 3, processor 4. All the processors, the data got loaded. Okay. Now you can see here in the processor 1, we have the values in all the columns like serial number, comment. Comment is null, okay, because that was blank. Okay, borrower name, outstanding balance, then activities, okay, effective date, status, all that has come. Okay, but for the other processors like processor 2, processor 3, okay, these things are, null. Why? These columns like comment and borrower name was not available into the processor 2 and processor 3 file. Okay. What was available is activities. So it has pulled from those processor files. Effective date was available, status was available, so it has pulled. Okay. But say I wanted only like these columns, no other columns. So I, kept as taken the processor one file as a sample file. If you want to make any change, okay, we can still make the change into that. Okay. So we'll be going to, for that, we have to again go to source file. Okay. So just go to source. No, just these are some procedure name. No, it's- sure. No, these are some previous the functions which I applied on the previous data that is coming here. Okay. So let's say as of now, I just want to load this data. Okay. So all the files got combined. Okay. I have to just load the data. I'll just click on close and load. Let's wait for a few seconds. Okay. And you can see the data is loaded. Okay. So like here with the source name, we can figure out, okay, which all files got loaded. Okay. So all four files, one, two, three, four, okay, files got loaded. Okay. And the processor one file, I made it as sample file. Okay. So it kept the header of that processor one file and data for all those headers from all other files were, combined here. Okay. The headers which were not available, columns which were not available, those have been kept as blank. Okay. So that is how, like, if we want to header from the processor one, we can select sample file as one or any, file which have the standard headers that we can select. Okay. Before going to combine and load the data. Okay. So that is how, we load the data from the folder. So, like you see how quickly we got all the files without making much much effort. Okay, we got all the files combined. Okay, and loaded into one seed. Okay, but rather opening one by one all the files, copying data from one files. Okay, one file, pasting it to other file. Okay, that is something very traditional way of doing that. Okay, at the time when we have the Power Query option available into our system. Okay. Again, going back, to our slide. Yeah. So folder batch import is completed. Okay. Now we are going to this web. Okay. Let's see how we can load data from web. Okay. So for that again, we'll be going to data tab. Okay. Directly also here from web is available. Okay. So we need not to go here and then rather not there. Mm, where we have that option. Yeah. From database, we got this option like from SQL Server, Microsoft, Access Database, from Energy Server, SQL servers. Okay, from Azure, from other sources. From other sources, we got like from web. So many options available. Okay. As of now, we are going through web. Yeah. So a pop-up window has opened and it is asking to provide the URL. Okay, from which it need to load the data. Okay. So we'll go to browser and copy any URL. Okay. So just say, for example, I have got this. Okay. So our meeting is going to end in 10 minutes. But I think, okay, I have explained or covered almost, the things which I wanted. Okay. The small things like nuances. Okay. Performing, functions. Okay. Those things, I believe, okay, you have got what is this Power Query, what all things can be done. Okay, you have got understood the chases of that Power Query window. Okay, then after you can you can go, you can load your data and then performing the operation. Lot of options are available. You can go and take, untake, select or deselect, delete, remove, all those things you can do. Okay, and you yourself can understand and make it. Okay, that this is how what is the use of this option, of that option. Are you agree with me, Mamta, Vinod?
Yes, yes, Prem, that's true.
Yes,
We
yes.
can explain the things. Now we got to
Yes,
know what is Power Query, how we can use, how we can simplify the data and everything. And if we practice, then we can explore more settings.
exactly. So the last thing, before this session get ends, I'll try to cover, okay, how to load that data from the web. I have just simply copied the URL, okay, and you can see what is there in this URL. Some I just randomly searched the repo rate, okay. So the first link was coming as Bank Bazaar. I clicked on the it, okay. So on this, all this information is available. Okay. RBI repo rate. Okay. Then RBI repo rate cut history from 2005 till 2025. Okay. So that data is available. So that is how what is available. Let's go back to our Excel. Okay. I'm going to paste the URL here. Okay. I'll click on OK. Okay. So it has taken us to another window. Okay. Access web content. Okay. There we have to just click on connect. It will take some time to connect to the URL and load the data from the URL to Excel Power Query. Yes, it has taken us before going to Power Query. Always it will take us to Navigator window. So now we are on the Navigator window, and it has retrieved some important data from the URL. Okay, which you can load. Okay, you can transform and you can load into your Excel sheet. Okay, so what are things it has retrieved? We can see here. Okay, HTML tables. It have got two tables. Okay, table one, what is there? Automatically from the website, it has pulled the data of repo rates. Okay, so the table is we have already seen this table was available on that website. Okay, table two, the historical data from 2005 to 2025. Okay, that also it has pulled. Okay, if we have selected this table 2, okay, if we just simply click load, okay, automatically in a very beautiful format this data will be loaded into your Excel sheet without manually copying and pasting the data, and then after updating or making the table, okay, uh to a bit look good. Okay, the other data it has retrieved, we can go, it is showing as suggested tables, another table, table 3. Okay, so there also it got data from the, so all this data it has got from the URL in the table format. It is showing in the table 1, table 2, table 3. Okay, other than table, it has got some data in a HTML code format or text format, so that also it is showing. Okay, that also we can load it into our Excel. But the only problem is that data as it is text. Okay, so like it is not making it as table. But on the Excel later, if you want to make it table, you can perform the transformation into that data to make the necessary changes. Okay, so if you go to this HTML code, so you can see these codes are available. Now you will be wondering what are these codes and why we need. These are not relevant to us. Okay, but someone is developer. Okay, macro developer. Okay, who developing the macro that automatically it will build a connection with the website, the Excel. Okay, and the moment we run the macro, it will do some perform some functionalities. Okay, so there that guy will be using those codes. Okay, otherwise it's not relevant to us. If we go to display text, okay, so the text which like on the website, other than table, what was the content was there, that is also we can see here. It is retrieved by the Excel Power Query from the website. If we so till now we were on this table view. If we go to web view, so we'll be able to see exactly the website how it was. Okay, okay. So you can see the data something like with the logos on an image. Okay, all that it got loaded here. If we maximize this, um, so little it is got jumbled here. Otherwise, you can see the data as it is from the website. It got loaded. Okay. So we'll remain on table view, or just say, for example, I just want to this historical repo rate data. Okay, so we can select that and we can simply load, or if we want to make any changes. So before loading, we can take it to transform data. Okay, and then we can load. Okay, but say if we don't want to make any changes, so we can directly load. Let's go to our Excel. Yes. So this data got loaded from the Bank Bazaar website, the historical reported data from 2005 to 2025. Okay. Now, what is the difference between the data getting loaded directly from the website and the difference from the data if we would have copied and pasted it on Excel? The difference is if the tomorrow another rate cut or hike in the rate happens, okay, the website will get updated. Okay, Once the website get updated, we need not to copy the data manually visiting to website and copying the data and pasting it here. Okay, simply as I already told, okay, it has built-in connection, okay, with the website directly. Okay, so if we just go to data and just do refresh, okay, automatically that line item, whenever, okay, the update will happen, that update will reflect into our Excel also. So that is all about, Power Query.